Come on.
You better be in the house when them street lights come on. Ain't that what your mama used to tell you? But I bet you when she told you to stay out the streets, she had no idea that the YouTube streets would take over the world. Uncle Juice, public figure Boogie, Baby Down So Raw, Detroit Gossip, and the most dangerous voice in Detroit, DawgfaceTV.
Bitch, I talk more shit than Dawgface.
They running shit from coast to coast. Welcome to the danger zone.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. My name is Dawgface Calderon. This is DawgfaceTV podcast. This is real life unfiltered. Am I echoing? The first thing I need to know, we had a few technical difficulties over the last couple of days. I want to know, can the chat tell me if there's an echo with any one of us on the screen? Let me turn some lights on. You better be in the house when the lights come. You motherfucking right. Hey, listen, my name is Dawgface Calderon. We have the gang back in town. That girl, Henny, what's happening, Henny?
Hey, everybody, what's poppin'? Am I echoing?
Is Henny echoing everybody?
And so are you.
I'm echoing?
Oh yeah.
I'm echoing like a motherfucker, ain't I?
Yeah, the audience. See what the chat talking about.
Henny has an echo. Y'all mute and let me see.
Okay, so we're gonna have to play the mute game.
Am I still echoing, y'all? My mic sound nice. Check one. Is my mic still echoing? Oh, she said both of us are. Am I still echoing right now to you guys? All right, so they're saying no, I'm not echoing when y'all are muted. So somebody has something open. Dog, you don't have an echo. I don't have an echo right now, so we're going to have to mute when everybody's talking. That's all.
Okay, so that's what we're going to have to do. Right? We're going to have to echo when the other person is talking. I don't know what the fuck. Let me get my technical person down here to make sure it's good. Hey, listen. My name is Dawgface Calderon. This is real life unfiltered. Let me turn some lights on so y'all can see my beautiful face. Y'all know what it is. Face is a little low. That's the problem right here. The whole face is a little low. The little low shit is a problem for me. The little low shit is a problem for me. I'm low. Let me get this shit together. We can't have that. We can't have the little low shit going on. Hey, listen, can y'all hear me now? Mama Zay, do I have an echo, Mama Zay? No echo. Everybody, I'm too low? I'm too low.
No, you good on the volume and everything.
That's not his normal sound.
My normal sound is higher than this.
He sounds like a normal person right now.
Both of y'all echoing when you come back on here.
I was saying Dawgface's volume. Who's unmuted? Oh, Dawgface's volume is not where he's normally at. Dog is usually louder than that.
He ain't yelling today.
Not yet. All right, so Dawgface is having technical difficulties. Let's see if he fixed it.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mike, can you hear me? Y'all can both hear me. Everybody unmute. Let's see what the fuck going on here.
Yo.
Like
That's Henny, man.
First of all, the singing is what got
impeccable.
Yeah, you didn't you done made all the speakers start tweaking and
First
shit.
of all, the singing part of this whole thing, that is what has me disturbed. Let me get my ink pen out, because you know I do my best work when I have my ink pen. I have my ink pen out. How y'all doing tonight? Unmute, Henny. Everybody unmute. We gonna thug this shit out. Unmute.
Yeah.
I'm the one that sound like I'm in somebody's studio.
You do?
Yep.
What's going on over there?
I don't know.
She got everything on.
No, I don't.
You have interference. You have interplanetary interference.
Well, it is the lineman's gate, so I'm probably vibrating on a higher
I was about to
frequency.
say shit. I knew you was gonna say that shit. I knew it. That's why I just say something about vibration at its highest frequency.
I ain't got time for this shit tonight. Hey, Henny.
Hold on, because the people missed me. Hey, y'all.
What in the hell is going on? We got it. We it's on the flow in here.
we gotta mute it, bro, and you gotta get your tech guy up in there, bro, and we gotta run like a mock one once your tech guy get there so he can troubleshoot, bro.
All right, so what we're gonna do is when everybody else is talking, we're gonna mute. We gotta play the mute game so we can cut this shit down. All right, I got you. Sounds like you have an equalizer on, but I don't have an equalizer on. I don't have an equalizer on. I promise you, I don't. Check, mic check. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, now you're echoing, and I'm echoing.
How about now? No.
Okay, listen.
How about now?
We still echoing.
All right. So what we're gonna do here?
Okay, so I need you to mute for a second because I'm about to say something. I think what had happened was the StreamYard gods was so upset with us the way we behaved as Black people the last time that they said we can no longer talk at the same damn time, and now we gotta go.
She done brought the spook god out, man.
Thank you, Mama Zay, for the super chat.
Ugh, too happy for her to be back. You see that? 20 piece. Ugh.
Look at this bitch ass nigga right here. Y'all mute up so I can check this hoe, right? So listen, you must don't know where you at, bitch ass nigga. You must don't know that gossiping. It's not called gossiping, bitch. It's called breaking news stories, you bitch ass nigga. But what this gonna be called is getting your bitch ass out, bitch. Now bye bye, bitch. You cocksucker. Bitch ass nigga. I bet you won't be able to comment on nothing else tonight, bitch. So listen, man. We have 100 people on deck. Let's get into the subject matter. Where we gonna start, Henny? You kick it off. We're gonna mute up.
All right, so I guess we're gonna start it off with a little bit of a Nolan Wells update. And what can I say? There really isn't much of an update to be had. The DA, they have announced that they're done with the first autopsy, which would be the Mississippi autopsy. Thank you, Mama Zay, for dropping a gem on me. Thank you for supporting the channel. They're done with the initial autopsy, and it's been sent to the grand jury. So now the grand jury is going to have to look it over, and they're not going to release it until the grand jury is done. However, the public safety commissioner has now come out, and he made a statement on their local news channel saying that the state has gotten involved, even though this is a Jackson County thing. And the Jackson County sheriff, which is Sheriff Ledbetter, was the one who said he saw no signs of foul play. Well, the public safety's commissioner for the state of Mississippi has come out and said that the state is involved and that they get involved when there is a suspicious death, be it a suicide or a murder. So that's kind of where we are now with it. There hasn't really been anything. Oh, one more thing. The Friends now have launched their own investigation, and they have hired Trump's defamation lawyer for themselves. And they recently went out to Horn Island to conduct their own investigation on the island into what happened to Nolan.
I'm so motherfucking tired of these Mississippi motherfucking crackers playing games with everybody. And listen, these Mississippians, and listen, so these white people, this is an example of how well white people's plan to make black people feel guilty about the things that have been happening to us, it has worked. Because you have more black people arguing about the state of affairs in Mississippi. You have more black people arguing about what's racism and what's not racism, bro. We are our own biggest enemies because we don't stand together as a cohesive, unified force. And so therefore, white people have been working on us since Rodney King, trying to make us feel guilty for playing the race card. And now that shit has worked. It's worked so well to where black people are arguing amongst themselves about what's racism and what's not racism. That's the craziest shit in the world.
I also want to add to you, now that you're talking about making us feel guilty and all of that. I forgot we haven't spoken on Nolan in a minute. So they also made 3 arrests, and they're saying there are 3 arrests in the Nolan Wells case, but these have nothing to do with Nolan. These have everything to do with the judge being threatened, with the sheriff's department being threatened, and with one of the boys being threatened as well. So it has nothing to do with Nolan's case. And the other day when I was live, I typed in Nolan Wells update. And when I scrolled through Google, that's all I saw them talking about, that and the fact that they've been attacking the mother and leaving harassing comments on her job site, saying that she's incompetent, they don't trust her. And then someone made an anonymous complaint to the nurse practitioners board, licensing board out there in Mississippi. So she was under investigation for that. And now there's a whole campaign to smear her, where one of them racist ass bitches from down there in Texas who was on the Carmelo Anthony case, Sarah Fields, she done went and dug up the mother's past into family court and the troubles that she was having with her baby daddy and brought that to the forefront. So all of that is now starting to overshadow what the hell the point of all of this is, which is what happened to Nolan and who did it.
Let me tell y'all something. Am I echoing? Do I have an echo? No echo. Okay, so listen. The agenda to make black people feel guilty about complaining about what white people do to us, that has been a wicked, wicked agenda. And like I said before, this whole white people are exhausted with being called racist. They want to be able to do what they want to do. And let me tell you, the one thing that sparked this whole thing is Donald Trump. Donald Trump and the people behind him, the people who support him, they have made it so to where it is okay for white people to be disengaged from the reality of what the fuck they do. And how dare you blame us for something that is your fault? It's your fault that we act this way. This shit is narcissism at the highest level. Narcissistic behavior is a person who can't take accountability for what they do. It is a person who engages in manipulative forms of speech, manipulative forms of behavior patterns, all to control the narrative. This is narcissism played out. White people, y'all have a burden that you never gonna be able to shake. I'm sorry. Hey, Mr. White Man, your ancestors were some lying bitch ass, devilish, demonic, murdering, graping ass motherfuckers. Y'all grandmothers were some whores who love black cock. Y'all created a wicked system of oppression, murder, disenfranchisement, all for the sole purpose of creating an advantage that you knew was going to live on well beyond your time on this earth. And now that people are tired, listen, it's not just black people tired of y'all. The whole world is tired of you motherfuckers. So what y'all done is, and this is, hey, Henny, now peep game. They said under the Biden-Harris administration, they allowed all these so-called immigrants to come into the country knowing full well they was going to use them for a voting block, right? And they brought migrants in because they knew they were losing their grip on black people in America to just be blindly voting for them. So he brought these migrants in to create a new minority class. But at the same time, you created a situation where black people have been disenfranchised by the minorities who are coming to this country, who are heavily tended towards all things white. They've already been successfully subjugated. They've already been tricked and conditioned. When you come to this country, right? It used to be a time where if you were a foreigner, you had to learn how to speak some part of the language. There's no requirement to do any of that no more. And so what I'm saying is, and I know I'm being long-winded about this shit. White people, y'all still at fault. It's still y'all fault. Y'all still some devilish, demonic ass motherfuckers who need to be dealt with.
But there's even some white people that's tired of white people. That says a whole lot. There's white people that are tired of y'all as well. And while people are trying to convince us that Mississippi is not the same Mississippi that it once was, that they have outgrown their roots, especially that guy from down there with the beard who was out here trying to tell us that because everyone's having mixed babies, there's sandy-haired babies out there, and they're mixing, that racism doesn't exist. But in the middle of you trying to tell us that, a young woman was found hung in the back of a vacant building on Remembrance, a vacant house on Remembrance Road in the middle of the hood. And she was up so high, they had to use the fire department to get her out the tree. And I saw a picture that's supposed to be of her. And if that is the picture of her, her hands were up here, rigor mortis, by her neck, like this. And they don't know whether her hands were tied in the noose, if they were bound by themselves. I'm going to tell you what that is. I don't give a damn what y'all don't know. What I know is what I saw, that woman looked like she was trying to get that noose off her neck. So while you're trying to tell us that it's not racist down there, y'all still hanging black people down there in the woods. And black people don't hang themselves from trees.
Hey, watch this, right? A modernization, it's a process, right? And the reason why that process is so difficult is because you're not dealing with the same old black race of people. You're dealing with a race of people that has evolved from slavery. For most of us, we're going to say we haven't evolved completely because we're still dealing with it. But we have evolved into a fighting people now, a people who have a right to fight back if we can fight back right. You know, so that's the difficulty. So when you modernizing something, we are fighting that process. That's the part that they tired of. They tired of that when they get to doing their slavery, demonic ass shit to us, how we won't just let it be. See, if we just let it be, then we know that their modernization is sticking like it used to stick back in the original slavery days, you know, with the Woody Lynch program and all this little stuff, you know. So, you know, we fighting the process now, and that's why, like, I always try to encourage the fighters to fight, but we can't be no foolish fighters because that's what basically gets a lot of us killed. So, me, I don't really want to be a part of the fight unless it's a fight with people who know how to intellectually break that process.
I agree, because, you know, the first thing that we want to do is we want to lash out and we want to get violent back. But they prepared for that. We got to learn how to fight the game the way they're playing the game. And the problem with a lot of people are they don't realize that if you just sit back and look at the pattern of things, you know exactly what to attack. That's because Dawgface done unmuted himself.
No. Did I? Lord have mercy. Did I? Oh, my bad. Okay, there you go.
No, I'm just about done, you know, because you see how they're fighting back right now. If you look at this Nolan Wells case, how are they fighting back? They go into the very system that they hide themselves in to fight back. They're suing content creators or putting out cease and desist. They going and getting high-powered attorneys like Donald Trump's defamation attorney. You got to learn the system, and we have to stop feeling like we need to be ignorant. I've already said this before. I feel like everyone needs to understand the law. People should just go and watch court proceedings and start ingesting how this system works. Because in order for us to ever really, truly crack the system, we've got to understand the system and how it works, more so beyond the fact that every time it's one of us, we always get the book thrown at us. How do we get around that? How do we learn to play the system the way they do? We got to start putting people in place. We got to start putting our judges. We stop teaching your children to go play in the NBA and the NFL and start teaching them to get into positions of power. That's our problem. We don't get in positions of power. And then when we have people in those positions of power, we don't uplift them and keep them there. So this is how we got to play the game. And I know people don't like to hear about politics and all of that. And no, but this is, to me, this is just my opinion. Now, I don't know if y'all agree or not, but I feel like in order for us to start winning this game, we got to start putting our players in the game.
Yeah, if you fight a physical war, I mean a mental war physically, you will lose. And that's the transition that we have to embrace. We're not fighting a physical war no more. We're actually fighting an intellectual war. But this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the process of modernization. They're trying to modernize it, but they're doing it from an intellectual perspective. And that's not what our people are really used to identifying and recognizing that's taking place. So this is where we get finessed at in our dealings with them. But we have way more of our people than we've ever had that intellectually recognize this process that's taking place. But, it has to grow.
Can y'all hear me? You can't hear me. Is there echo? No echo. You sure there's no echo? Okay, so listen. I'm ready to kick these white motherfuckers' ass. We done had enough of this motherfucker marching, protesting, picketing, all this shit. In the history of this world, there has never been a people who have considered themselves to be oppressed, who've been able to throw off or fight off the yoke of the oppressor by marching and protesting. They have created the system. They've created marching for you. They gave you marching as a way to showcase your displeasure with their treatment. Y'all hear me? Am I echoing? No echo. So I know what the issue is now. The issue is, unmute yourself. Let's see something.
All hell for the break loose. Go, Henny. Yo.
Can y'all hear?
Yo. Yep. Henny.
Yeah.
Echo?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm echoing.
Echo. Hold on. Is it an echo now?
No. With me, it is. You hear that?
I hear both of y'all echoing. I'm going back on mute.
Okay, go back on mute so I can make my beautiful point. I'm tired of these motherfucking white people. And we're fighting a couple of different things at one time. We're fighting a system that has existed for hundreds of years now. And now we have a new opponent. The new opponent are the people who don't understand history, who look at everything that we do and say and we complain about as if we don't have, because they lack historical precedents to match our complaints up with. Now we live in a time where white people are looking at our behavior and what we're doing with ourselves and for ourselves, and how we are not adjusting as a people and how we're not loving on each other. And they're looking at our condition inside the urban environments. They're saying, hey, y'all talking about us, but y'all got problems yourself. And we think that the problems that y'all have are bigger than traditional forms of, or the traditional ideology of what racism was or what it used to be. What say you?
So my answer to that is, I know where you're going with it, because as soon as we start talking about the injustices and black people being killed by white people under racist conditions, they want to talk about black on black crime. In any community, the person, the race that's in the close proximity to one another is going to kill one another. In all actuality, according to statistics that say that white people are the majority, there's more white on white crime than there is black on black crime, because they are what? Supposed to be the majority. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. Now, my thing is, we want to get violent. We need to get our army, because these YNs out here, they need some training, because they be shooting and missing or hitting the wrong people. We need our own army to go up against them, because they have their own coalitions. Their coalitions have never died. They've never disappeared. They've just gone underground and started hiding within the judicial system. That's where they are. And that's why when we say things like what's going on in Mississippi, you got to think about that. You've got a sheriff, a judge, a governor, and a medical examiner all involved in this case.
Hey, and you're right, Dawgface. Protesting and marching, those are not expressions of intelligence that I'm talking about. Like, we have to, and this is a real big fight, man. This fight is not little at all, because a lot of it consists of, we have to break down those opponents that attack us. They have law structured in a way that attacks us, that benefits them. You know what I mean? So we have to like reestablish a law to where it don't see no color. And I don't see that shit happen no motherfucking time soon.
Whose chat is this? This Ken Stagnant person?
What do you say?
You need to get them up out of here. Or curse them out, one or the other.
What are you talking about?
Victim. Your behavior is shit. Racism is all you cry about.
Mute up. Mute up. This nigga right here. Victim. Your behavior is shit. Racism is all you cry about. Talk all your violent animals useful. Talk all. Okay. So let me respond to you, my dear sir. You're expecting me to cuss you out. And you right, you bitch ass nigga. Shut your bitch ass up, fuck boy. Get your bitch ass on. Shit said. Fuck is you talking about? That's funny, wasn't it? Damn it.
But at the end of the day, it's just, we've got to start studying. And I agree with you. We got to start studying the enemy. Okay. The art of war. We're not playing the art of war with them. We're not invoking the 48 laws of power over them. We're not doing any of that, and it's like our people have to get out of that we shall overcome shit and start getting into their Malcolm X bag. Okay. Because one thing that I can say, and I was talking about this the other day, a scene that stands out to me the most in that Malcolm X movie is when they was all lined up in front of that police station and they weren't being violent. And Malcolm put his hand up and did this, and they turned and marched out. That's the type of shit that we need in our lives. We have to get more disciplined, and we have to really start having each other's back. We've got multiple tools now. We have platforms like all of us. We all have platforms. We have an audience. We've got people with voices that can talk now, that can speak of the bullshit that they try to cover up. That's why they mad right now, because we won't shut up and we won't stop calling out the bullshit that they doing. We got voices. Now we've got to start hitting back in these places like Mississippi against these injustices, because people who refuse to believe that racism exists, maybe it doesn't exist on your level of reality, right? But it exists in judicial systems. It's never gone away, because that system was always built as a legal patty roller to enslave us. Because once you go to prison, you are not a person anymore. You are now inmate 677 W43. You don't have a name. You don't have civil rights. You don't even have human rights. You are now chattel to them. So that's why that system was created in the first place.
And just to add to that, Henry, another issue that I'm seeing is that, like our parents are dropping the ball. They're dropping the ball in teaching our children history. Like, if you really teach our children our true history, it can't help but to make you look at white people differently. Now watch this. The YNs as well as the YWs, neither one of them know the history. That's why you catch them interacting together, merging together, because neither one of them know our history. If white people truly know if young white people truly know the history, as young niggas, YNs knew our history, they would deal with each other differently. They even deal with each other like they don't know the history. That's how you give birth to Nolan Wells and type shit.
I agree with you. And then I also had the displeasure of coming across some young Brandon Tatum type of people, Mr. Officer Tatum. They're young and they are you know, sitting up talking about Emmett Till. I don't even know who Emmett Till is. Yet you're out here trying to say that what we're doing is race baiting, but you don't even understand your history, your Black history. And it's one more point that I want to make before we move on. To anyone out there, the Traystons and the Javons of the world, I want y'all to go back and watch the interview that Cuomo did with Russ Latino, the attorney for Bart Edmondson. When he described them, he did not say the two mixed friends. He said the two Black friends. So please make sure, parents, like you said, piggybacking, y'all are teaching your children the history, because the history is important. Because without the history, they're walking around blind. And I'm done.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be done as well, right? I do understand this about white people, that they are tired of hearing these kind of conversations. They tired of it, and guess what? I am too, right? But the thing is, we can't help but to address it when you have Nolan Wells situations. You know, like that shit happening all the time. If you put that shit up, you probably won't hear the subject so much. But that's the part that we're talking about, where y'all just want to just kill us softly, and we ain't gonna let that happen. We're a different race of Black people, and I'm done with it.
All right. So listen, I want to play something. Um, and I want you. I'm a father of daughters. I have more daughters than I do sons. I want to play this, and I want you guys to tell me what you think about it. Just, you know, off top of your head, tell me what you think about it. Let me play this. Yeah, tell me what you think about it.
Place your hands on your trunk. Place your hands, yep. Keep your hands on your trunk, but take like 2 steps towards me. Yeah, let me get your left hand real quick. Get your left hand real quick. Do not look. Do not resist. Do not resist.
I need to call Mama.
No. Stop.
What am I doing? Oh no!
Stop.
You think? Oh my God, this is illegal.
One
I need
resisting.
to call my mama.
I don't give a fuck. Turn
I
around.
didn't even do
Turn
shit.
around.
This is illegal.
Turn around. Turn around.
You cannot punch me.
Turn around.
I need to call my mama.
Turn around. I'll punch you again if you don't fucking turn
I
around.
didn't even do nothing.
Turn around.
Can I call my mama?
No, we're past
No,
that.
you just punched me in my head. No, okay.
Put your hand.
You close down.
I'm good. Just waiting to take her in custody.
I can't believe it. Oh my God.
Keep her hands there.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Face.
Somebody call my mama. Help
Turn
me.
around. The fuck is your problem? Turn around.
My mama.
Do you have any weapons on you?
No. Oh, my mama.
You acting like a real child.
You
Shut
punched
up.
me in my face.
Why do you think? Because you were resisting?
No, I was not.
You weren't resisting?
No, I literally did everything you told me to do.
Yeah, we'll see.
Somebody call my mama. Call my mama. Somebody call my mama.
Thoughts?
So, like, if you notice,
Before you say that, right? I want to know, did that make you feel any kind of way? Did it make you angry?
man, I almost don't want to say nothing, bro. I almost just want to say I'm done with this shit, right? Because this is the part where I get frustrated as a Black man, seeing all these kind of acts. They so fucking repetitive, bro. Like you keep seeing that shit over and over and over, and realize, you know, I can't but ask myself a question: what can you do? I can't do nothing. That's what pisses me off, right? Like the only thing I can do is what that one black father did to that police that killed his son. That's the only get back that we got. But look at him; he got to go sit in the joint for the rest of his life. You know, it's an exchange. So in reality, he's still lost. Like, how do you address that, bro? That's some frustrating shit to watch for me.
As a woman, as a black woman, as a melanated woman, I'm pissed because what's going to happen is you clearly hear her ask for her mama. We don't hear why he pulled her over. We don't hear why he's handcuffing her. We don't hear none of that. There's a fear of the police, whether we admit it out loud or not. When they pull us over, all we're thinking is, I just want to make it through this stop and get home, because we're seeing all too many times that we don't. Or if she would have turned around and she'd have beat the shit out of him, she'd be locked up. We really need to start creating our own organizations. We really need to start protecting ourselves as Black men, women, teenagers. We see this too much. I'm pissed about this video. Where is she now? Does anybody know? You're muted.
Can you hear me now? Are you pissed or are you just a little bit upset? And I have a question for you. So in situations like this, when we complain about this, the first people we have to fight with are Black people, because there's a segment of this society, there's a segment of the Black experience now who will point out to what we do to each other as if it's justification for what happens to us by our traditional oppressors. So we having to fight against the Nolan Wells. The biggest person in this whole equation is no longer Nolan Wells. The biggest person in this equation is Officer Tatum. We're more mad at him than we are at anybody in Mississippi, because this nigga, in typical Django fashion, in typical house nigga fashion, this nigga, for what reason did you step forward to try to defend these white boys? What reason?
MAGA.
It ain't that much MAGA in the world. So you saying
He's a MAGA attached to turning points.
Here's the issue. In order for Black, we talked about this, Henny, when we did this, when we got there. In order for we have to deal with our own kind first. We have to start to separate from the people who are a part of our community who don't want to see change, who don't want to be better, who don't want to see better, do better, live better, and enjoy the better part of this life. People who prey on us and want to take from us. We got to start to get rid of these niggas.
I understand that. But in the meantime and in between time, what the fuck do we do about this shit that we just watched? Because see, at the end of the day, why? Okay, so now it's turning to a point where, ladies, if you driving at night, you need to have somebody in the vehicle with you. A male, another female. You can't travel alone. But see, now we get into a deeper problem that we have within our community, because we as man and woman can't even get it the fuck together because we're too goddamn toxic.
Bingo.
Because if she had a man with her, that shit probably wouldn't have happened.
Hey, listen, Henny, if that white man had murder, if that white police had murder on his mind, he would have killed both.
But she's less likely to be attacked if she's not by herself.
Yes, less likely. Absolutely.
She's less likely to be punched in her goddamn head if she's not by herself, whether it be a man with her or a woman with her. See, when we start talking about the things that we have to fix within our community, we have to fix us as man and woman before anything else can come into balance. Because as long as we are out of balance as man and woman, the community will always be out of balance because we're not operating in our natural vibration and places that we're supposed to be in. We're not. Women are over masculated and men are feminized. Not all men, I'm just saying, but a lot of these men, I got some feminine tendencies to them, getting up here with unresolved mommy issues and blaming every woman that crosses his path instead of fixing himself. At the end, and then they get up here, these females get up here, and you got daddy issues, but don't even want to realize that you got issues. But guess what? Until we can be harmonized as one, this is going to continue to happen. And now I fear that we've gone too far. And it's going to take a lot of work to come back. But when is it going to come back? When? Because this was the main goal. And they knew this. See, they know us. They know us better than we know them. And you know why? Because they had decades and centuries to study us as their prey. They had decades to study us. We were too busy at one point in time. We were too busy with our heads down, just trying not to make them uncomfortable. That's what we were doing. But they knew that if the man and the woman were separated, if we could cause a wedge between that would destroy the whole community. So they dropped crack on us. Then they dropped them prison laws. Them Clintons dropped them prison laws with them heavy sentences. Anything to divide us. And now we have so far gone down the division where we have children now who have grown up in single parent households who are so fucking toxic that they're worse than we were. And we are the ones that grew up in the crack era. Yeah, they the crack babies, some of them. But they're worse than at least we had some type of stability. They don't even have big mamas no more because they big mamas are still thinking that she's 20. Are we going to talk about it or no?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are going to talk about it. So listen, what you just said was just listen. What you just said is the reason why race relations in this country is so bad. It is 2 or 3-fold. One, we're dealing with people who don't know history on both sides of the equation. We're dealing with black people who have no idea of how devilish white people can be. So therefore, they walk head first into off a cliff, thinking that hey, we're all equal. I don't believe in that black and white shit. Where you get that shit from? You ain't get that from the reality of the circumstances and the situation of your family members. You have allowed yourself to be lulled and rocked to motherfucking sleep. That's one. Number two, but here's the bigger issue. Henny just said, if you try to tell a black woman, take a man with you, take a son, take a nephew with you, she gonna tell you to go fuck off. She's not gonna put her in the next. Listen,
I didn't say that.
That's what you meant, though. Black women cannot listen. Black women are the out of all the ethnic groups that exist in this country, black women, black American women, are the only group of women who will look their man in the face of danger and tell him to shut the fuck up. Black women are the only women who will not listen, not because it's not wisdom coming from a motherfucker, but because they just don't want to listen because they've been conditioned not to listen. They've been conditioned to say fuck a motherfucker, not understanding that you need the motherfucker you saying fuck.
But so who conditioned us?
At this point.
Hey, let me say something. Go ahead.
At this point, we can get into an argument about who did what, when, where, how, and why. But there's enough information at our disposal for us to understand what the fuck is going on, who the fuck is responsible, and what we should be doing. And so what I'm saying is, listen, So, like what you just said is typical black woman shit. That's shit you just did. Well, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it?
Yeah, because if we gonna have that conversation, then we got to be honest about it.
Listen, I just the fault is at. So listen, ain't nobody really at fault between black men and black women because there has been somebody who had a diabolical plan to disenfranchise and to destabilize us both. When you destabilize the black man and black woman, that's the family. When you destabilize one, that's the family. When you destabilize the man, that is the core of the family. And so what happens is the black woman then has to learn how to fend for herself because her man is not doing what he's supposed to be doing. And so therefore, the natural feelings is I can't trust you. I can't count on you. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be there in my hour of need. So therefore, once black men have abdicated their responsibility as the caretakers of their family, so much so, black women become accustomed to niggas not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so therefore, they become the niggas. And so when they become the niggas, they stop listening to you, nigga, unless they can benefit something from you.
You just answered my question. Thank you.
So listen, right?
I asked, where did that conditioning come from? And you answered exactly how I was expecting the answer. See, you was thinking I was about to say black men and didn't it? No. It's the system. It's the way we've been broken. And then because we've been broken, women have become overmasculated because we now have to take on these roles that we're naturally and innately not supposed to be taking on as provider, protector. And then we got to add nurturer and all those other things that are naturally and innately ours. But we now have to take on the duality of things when that's not what we were built and designed to do. And then you have the black man who's been so scarred because black women carry burdens. We get tired. We get fed up. We don't want to deal with your fuck shit because we've been dealing with this fuck shit. You've been locked up and gone for 13, 14 years. I had to raise these kids by myself. And here you come with your bullshit and I ain't got time for it. It's a lot that has gone on that has added to the toxicity that has happened within our community between women and men. But see, that's the answer, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the black man's fault. It's not the black woman's fault. Stop blaming each other and start looking at how we've been attacked. Period.
And watch this, right? So, like, generations, like, we have failed to do what generation is supposed to do. One generation is supposed to do a handshake with the next generation, right? But that has not been taking place because, as you notice, the previous generations, as well as the current, they don't come out the womb with common sense. Okay, so why don't they come out the womb with common sense? They don't come out the womb with common sense because they having children at 16, 17, 18. In reality, that DNA is not even mature enough for procreation. If you do procreate at that time, and you're going to bring out or give birth to a child who is not equipped with all his components, mainly the common sense one, right? So therefore, this is why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was real sharp, right? He said that he didn't want us as black men and women to procreate until we're at least 30. You see, because that 30-year age is the time where that DNA has an opportunity to mature. So when that just like we always identify with, he got old parents, and not most kids who have old parents, they have a sense of intelligence that the ones that was born by younger parents doesn't. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not trying to throw them away, but what we're saying is you bringing them into the game underdeveloped. So they have to be brought up to code, whereas when you have that procreation taking place from mature DNA, 30 or better, you have kids that come out the womb kind of like already ready. And this is why they make better decisions. Like you will see a kid that's like, he just will not jump off the porch and get into that fuckery. He just will not. He's in the hood just like I am, but he didn't find his way to go to college. He has that mature DNA. He's under the influence of that mature DNA. The ones don't have that common sense, we jumping off the porch early, we're not equipped, we can't think, and we start developing mentality from the streets, which is an inadequate source. And this is where the ball has been dropped. So it's like, but how we get that back? We get that back by picking up where we fail at. You know, when you fall, you don't forget where you fall at because you'll fall there again. We have not picked up the ball where we fall at. So no, it's not the black man, it's not the white man, because when those 16, 17, 18-year-olds get together to procreate, that's two. That's the young black man and the young black woman, which in reality is going to give birth to error.
Well, they're also missing a component of community. Okay. I don't know about anybody else. When I grew up, I had 2 grandmothers, 2 grandfathers, and my mother and my father. Even though my father was incarcerated in and out my whole life, my father was still an active parent from behind bars. So when people tell me I couldn't be a parent to my child because I was locked up, that's bullshit. Because my dad made sure he called me every day. My dad made sure he wrote me. Every time I was getting letters, back to back letters, I was writing him, and I had another one coming in and another one to respond to. My father was teaching me about how to carry myself as a woman and conduct myself, and teaching me that, you know, I'm beautiful and that he loves me, and telling me all of those things that a man would normally tell a female to get in her drawers. My father was telling me all of those things and telling me, do not let a man trick you out by telling you that you're beautiful. I tell you that you're beautiful. I love you. You're intelligent. I put a book in your hand. I'll make sure that you read. My grandma and all of them was in my life. That's the point that I'm making. Nowadays, they don't have that. You got, when you say single mother, you mean single mother. There's no grandparents involved. It's so toxic and it's so divided that you can't even go to the father's mother because she's siding with her toxic ass son. Instead of taking the child's side, she's taking her son's side and getting involved in their drama instead of being neutral and trying to keep the peace. It's too toxic. When we came up, we had stable people. We had aunties and uncles and older cousins that were our parents' cousins that were still watching over us and all that. We don't have that. There's been a sense of family that has been lost. So that's why I said, as the Black community, until we can start getting our nucleus back together, we're going to continue to be operating out of order and all fucked up because we don't have that nucleus, that core no more.
And this just to address, somebody had said something in the chat. It kind of like went by too quick for me to like read it, but I read it enough to know that, yeah, you're absolutely right. What I said, you disagree with it. You disagree with me saying that when 2 older people give birth, that they give birth to a more mature child. I'm not saying that that child can't be a problem. I'm just saying that we have a checklist that has 10 points on it. When you bring that mature DNA together, that's all right there, yeah. When we bring that mature DNA together, they come out the womb with 6 of those on the 6 out of 10 already checked. We just have 4 that we have to groom, that we have to nurture, that we have to help them grow and develop into. No, it doesn't mean that if you have an older parent, if you have an older mom, that guarantees that child will be successful. No, he can be the worst asshole on earth. We know this, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you let that DNA mature, you give birth to a child who has a 10-point checklist to cover. He comes out the womb already with 5 of those checked. We just have to groom him into the other 5. Versus an 18-year-old coming out, they may only have like 3 of them. We got 7. That child needs a lot of growth and development, a lot of nurturing, a lot of components to help that child grow into his balanced state. And I hope that kind of like helps you understand where I was coming from in the chat.
This, right. So listen. So whenever we have conversations, we turn the lens back on ourselves. That is the biggest. That argument is even bigger and even more significant than what white people doing to us, right? So listen, before we can even really, we know we mad about what white people doing. We know we mad about what white people doing to us. We mad as the motherfucker. Because we mad. We watching the hangings, the killings, the shootings, the lynchings, the Rick Childs. We watching this. We watching it, right? We mad about it. So listen, we're all mad about it because there is a common bind that we share amongst ourselves. You can be from Maine, you can be from Seattle, you can be from LA, you can be from Arkansas. When we as a people see what we just saw with that police officer, that Arkansas state trooper, I don't care if you were Crip, Blood. I don't care if you're a Muslim. I don't care if you're Baptist. If you're black people, we have a shared experience. It does not matter what your religion is. It don't matter what your political affiliation is. It don't matter what college you went to. It don't matter what hood you from. We all felt that. We felt that right here, not up here. We felt that in our souls. So listen, when it comes to us trying to address the inequality and the racial disparities and the racism, when it comes to that, bro, what white people in this country, or what people in this country, whether it be white or anybody else, what they know about us is that we not even on the same motherfucking page. So we're not going to push the line like we're supposed to, because we infighting amongst ourselves in a way that doesn't allow us to present a unified front. They know that. All they got to do is, wait a minute. First of all, they don't give a fuck about how we feel, no way. White man ain't never give a fuck about us protesting, marching, crying, hooping and hollering, no way. They only act like they did because they didn't want to look like specters on the world level. They didn't want to look like inhumane beasts on the world level. White people in this country who don't like black people, they've never given a fuck what we thought about what the fuck they did to us. That's one. Number two, back to the point both of you people, beautiful human beings, are making, is that, listen, before we can even get to some type of general understanding about what should happen when we face or encounter situations like this, we gonna be infighting amongst ourselves about who right and who wrong. Hey, listen, it don't matter. When you see Arabs, if you're from Detroit, right? We live in a situation where right outside the city of Detroit is the largest concentration of Arabs and Chaldeans outside of the Middle East. All of them don't get along. All of them don't get along. Henny's in Florida, right? I'm in Florida. You have Haitians, you have Cubans, you have a lot of Latinos down there. They don't all get along, but you can bet your ass, once something starts to happen that affects them as a whole, they're going to come together and bind together as a single unit. Black people, the Willie Lynch shit has worked. We have turned, the whole concept, the whole ideology has worked. It is a part of our DNA now. We can't even get out of our own way because we argue. We don't believe you. The Officer Tatums of the world. Listen, black people can't even agree that Officer Tatum, although you have a right to think what you want to think, right? What you're doing, sometimes you niggas need to shut the fuck up and let things play out. Because once you come out and in the face of knowing what the fuck Mississippi is all about, Officer Tatum, you're not speaking as a black man. You're speaking as an indoctrinated ass nigga.
He's speaking as a cop. He's whitewashed and blue washed at the same damn time, because Officer Tatum doesn't even know half of his black history. See, I watched that debate of him versus 20 liberals. And when a man asked him, have you read the autobiography of Frederick Douglass? He said no. Now, everybody don't have to read every piece of literature that has been ever written by a black author that gives us our history, but it gives you a leg up. But for you to sit there and not have read that book, but then argue a person down about what's in that book, shows me how far you will go with your ignorance to protect your comfortability. Because see, Officer Tatum, he's like, I call him Officer Bigsby. You remember Clayton Bigsby from off of Dave Chappelle? Because he was a blind black man that thought he was white. He didn't even know he was black, and he was a part of the Klan. That fits him so perfectly, because when you start talking about, if you was to show him that video of that female, he will find every reason to justify that cop, just like he justified the cop shooting that guy in the head because he had a knife. The taser didn't work and he got shot because he had to do. No, there's no justification for killing. Okay, so he has been programmed. He is systematically mind fucked already. He does not realize that he is black, and his nigga moment is going to come. And when his nigga moment comes, it's going to shatter him, because the very community that he has spoken out against, nigga, we not letting you back over here. We can't fucking trust you. You don't hold our best interest at heart. See, he's one of those people that wants to keep his his comfortability within the white world. He's whitewashed. Now, I know plenty of people that are in, and he is interracially married, but I know plenty of people that are interracially married and still stand on business when it comes down to the issues that are with us. You're not for us. You are against us. So in my eyes, you are just as good as one of them. In my eyes, you would have been the black slave that they use, the patty rollers use to trick the other slaves into getting them to go on into slavery, because that's the shit that you try to do. Don't nobody respect his ass. He's a coon in every sense of the fucking word. Fuck Officer Tatum.
And you know what? It's like this is a white mentality right here. If they come over here, we're going to kill them, right? Now watch this. When a hunter is hunting for a deer, right? They put apples out and they piss on it, right? So the deers come because they smell the piss, right? So we, that's like it's a lure, So when you take our history from us, anything can be a lure. Anything can be a lure. So therefore, that means that we have to teach our kids that if you smell piss outside, that's not the same as smelling piss in the bathroom because you missed the toilet. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to teach our kids that, you can't get caught up in that lure, because if you get caught up in that lure, it can cost you your life. It's just that simple. It can cost you your life.
Let me say this, and we're not going to tarry on this subject for much longer, but we will talk about it for as long as we need to in order to illustrate, make our points. Black people, we are so busy infighting with each other that 50, 60, in the 1950s, 60s, right? And before that, we knew who our enemy was, because our enemy presented themselves minus any costumes. We knew what the mentality of the people who didn't like us, we knew the signs and symbols. Black people nowadays have not been miseducated. They have been undereducated, right? They don't even have enough education to call it miseducation, right?
Right.
You don't even have enough. The shit you got is not education, right? You can read. Listen, there's nothing worse than a motherfucker who's educated in everything else except the knowledge of self. There's a great person who said that, right? Niggas know everything except who they are and what their rightful position on this earth is supposed to be. And what I'm saying is, Officer Tatum, bro, you don't even have shame. When a motherfucker lacks shame, that is a nigga who's disconnected from the reality, right? You don't even, you mean to tell me there's nothing in Officer Tatum's mind that has told him? Because all this is the act. He's an entertainer. He's just like Charleston White or Wackesha. He's an entertainer. You mean to tell me that there's nothing in his mind that has told him, even if I do feel like this, I'm not going to give the people who I know seek to destroy my people ammunition. I'm not going to allow them to use my voice as ammunition against my own kind. If Officer Tatum does not realize that Officer Tatum is a motherfucker who's supposed to get the sword and the axe and the guillotine. This is what I'm talking about. All black people ain't black no more. The color of your skin does not dictate who your allegiance, right? And it never has. We've always had agent provocateurs and double agents and compromised people. I'm saying that this, listen, black people in America are no good. I'm just going to say it. I don't even give a fuck no more, right? There ain't no saving these niggas. So there has to be like I'm sorry. There's nothing, listen, we have the black family unit has been broken down to where you have the black woman and the black man don't trust each other. They don't even like each other. Most black people and most black men and black women, they come together and fuck because of closeness of proximity. And we don't even like each other no more. We always point out all the most negative shit about a motherfucker. Ain't no building up. That's why if you find a motherfucker, if you black and you can find a black woman who loves you despite your flaws, even if it ain't perfect, You had better figure out a way to cultivate that shit to make it work for you. Because we live in a society right now where niggas be in relationships and they pulling against each other. Pulling against each other. I ain't talking about no cheating. I'm talking about it ain't the cheat. No. I mean that philosophies, the way you raise your children, how you think, how you worship, how you celebrate, how you let other people treat you and treat your mate. You will have a situation where a motherfucker will come in your household and treat your mate like shit in your household, and the woman or the man won't even check the motherfucker from outside.
In your presence. If you don't check them, in your presence, you damn right.
Listen, the black family dynamic is shattered. And so now the people who do know have to come together with the people who do know. And gotta leave them niggas behind who don't know. We ain't got time. Because the niggas who don't know, they're gonna bring us down. They're gonna destroy and they're gonna destabilize what we trying to build. So it's like the ark. Black people, there has to be an ark built. Because all this shit that we see in society is the flood. We're living in a flooded society and don't even realize it. You gotta get your ass on this boat. If I tell you some shit and you don't come and you suffer the consequence, what do you think the whole boat, the ark was about? The whole ark was about, right? When the doors on that ark closed, there were people who walked on the ark who wanted to open the door, which would have caused the flood to come inside the ark, which would have flooded the fucking ark. But you had people who wanted to bring their family. The family did not heed the warning. So you have an option, bitch. We're gonna throw your bitch at you. They ain't coming in. But if you feel so, now they got resentment. Oh, I can't come in. Well, I'm gonna sabotage the boat because I'm mad because my son, my daughter, my auntie, my granny, my friends failed to heed the word of the Lord or the representative of the Lord. We telling you it's time to get on the ark. The shit that's going on in the black community, that shit is flooded, bro. What you mean, Dawgface? Bro, all the death, destruction, drugs, robbery, murder, the infighting, the self-destruction, that's all water. The black community is underwater. They're swimming against the current. They underwater. And then you got other niggas trying to pull, just imagine being a lifeguard and you trying to rescue a nigga and the nigga flailing around was gonna cause you to drown trying to save their bitch ass. You can't save some of these niggas. Some of these niggas need to have their heads cut the fuck off. So what has to happen is that the people who do understand, we have to come together. Well, no, we can't leave no black man behind. Did God leave people behind with the 7 plagues? Did he leave people behind with the ark when he rained fire and brimstone down on Sodom and Gomorrah? He didn't kill everybody. Some people were able to make it to safety because they heeded the word of the Most High. All these niggas not gonna make it. So we gotta leave some of these niggas behind. Bitch, you gang banging, you robbing, stealing, killing, your own kind, bitch, we leaving you behind. You can't come with us. Well, why not, bitch? We don't have time to explain to you. We've already sent the warning out. The final call has already been issued. You don't heed the warning, you ain't bringing that with us. Well, can I bring my mama? If your mama is gonna come in this boat and she's gonna teach other young black people, you're gonna teach because you're older, so you're gonna have an influence. If you're gonna come in this boat and you're gonna be doing all that bullshit, you got to go. And if we do let you on this motherfucking boat and you start displaying behavior that's gonna cause us to go backwards or cause this boat to sink, we're gonna kill you and throw your bitch ass over the side of the boat.
Hey, bro, that's heavy, man. Hey, you on some motherfucking preacher Dawgface shit right now. Hey, man, you hit that in the head, bro. That's nail in the coffin right there, man.
I'm just saying the whole thing. Well, we got shit. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with that. Hey, listen, do you agree that we need to survive? Do you agree that we need to survive? Do you agree that, so if you're saying that we're not one unit no more, then you got to be the first one. So Officer Tatum does not believe that black people are a unit. Officer Tatum you're not welcome to come on the boat. You stay out there with the white people, and the white people gonna do your ass dirty. Because when you outlive your usefulness, we know what they're gonna do with you. They're gonna get your ass together because they don't like black people. So when they can't use you against your own kind, you are of no value to them.
No, sir.
They get rid of your ass, Tatum.
Heavy.
They gonna get rid of your ass. Hey, listen, Dawgface, you saying black people, you motherfucking right. I'm saying black people, right? Well, Dawgface, I don't give a fuck what I was. I'm telling you where I am right now. And where I am right now is that we gotta pull together with like-minded people who understand what survival is supposed to look like. For the people who don't understand, for the people who don't want to acquiesce, for the people who don't want to play ball, cool. That's cool. It's cool. But when it is time for us, we're not going to defend you. We're not going to come to your aid and assistance because you have already planted your flag in the white sand of the white man's beach. So period. Black people have to start to exterminate the black people who want to see us not make it. I'm trying to choose my words wisely and carefully. Black people, we need to start to self-police ourselves. Well, we can't do nothing. Well, then we gotta call the police. We gotta call the police. There needs to be vigilante squads in the black community. There needs to be vigilante squads in the black community to deal with the niggas who seek to destabilize the shit that go on in the black community. Everybody ain't gonna make it. What you mean? Well, how can you be the judge and jury? The same way them crackers is being the judge and jury for your sorry ass, you coward ass nigga. The same way, if your daughter was that daughter who we just saw, most of these niggas wouldn't do nothing. I honor and I salute that brother whose son lost his life. And they say, he killed the wrong one. Ain't no wrong one.
It ain't.
Ain't no wrong ones. Niggas are afraid to die. Niggas ain't afraid to smoke dope. Niggas ain't afraid to pimp a hoe. Niggas ain't afraid to go buy a Cadillac. Niggas ain't afraid to scam, murder, shoot, kill, gang bang. Niggas ain't afraid to do nothing, but niggas are afraid to stand up for themselves. What a cowardly bunch of bitch ass niggas we have become.
I'm speechless, bro.
Black men are cowards. Black men are cowards with a capital C. Anytime you will fight your own, but you won't turn that anger towards people who seek to destroy us all, no matter what our affiliations, religion. Oh, he have Filipino. You's a nigga. Let me hear you say it. Nigga. If you don't believe you a nigga, take your ass to Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Black people are cowards, bro. I'm sorry. Black people are cowards, and we love sport and play. We love dick and pussy. We love to be entertained. We love to digest all the shit that speaks to the most negative part of us. We love it. Niggas mad at Officer Tatum. We are mad at Officer Tatum, but we ain't mad at little Bobby Johnson, who on the south side of Chicago ready to kill a nigga like that. We mad at Officer Tatum. What's the difference between Officer Tatum and this little nigga right there with that switch ready to shoot that bitch indiscriminately into a crowd of people, including children and women and old folk? What's the difference between Officer Tatum and that nigga? Ain't no motherfucking difference. And so that's what motherfuckers like Officer Tatum are talking about. What's the difference between how we feel about Officer Tatum and how we feel about a nigga with some dope in his hand ready to sell dope to a pregnant woman? With a nigga ready to rob and shoot. Nigga, take your ass across the suburbs and rob a bank, nigga. You bitch ass nigga. Go rob that bank. Oh, you don't want to rob that bank because it takes too much effort, you coward bitch ass nigga. Ain't no freedom fighters no more. Black people are cowards. And I proclaim right now on this show that the white man need to keep on putting their foot on our motherfucking ass, up our ass, on our neck, because we cowards. White people need to keep on fucking us up because maybe we'll get tired. Maybe we'll get tired of the treatment and maybe we'll come together, jail together, and do something about it. Maybe. But ain't no difference between Officer Tatum, who's a house-ass nigga, a neck-bone, pickle pig feet licking ass nigga, and that nigga in the hood selling dope, ready to drill and kill over nothing. Ready to go to prison at 16, 17 over nothing. This nigga don't even value life because he don't even understand what life can be. What's the difference between a brainwashed Officer Tatum and a brainwashed little violent bitch ass nigga ready to kill something in our neighborhood? Ain't no different. And I'm done.
And you know, I'm gonna say this too. Like a lot of people, like
Thanks for that $5, Wo Jones. Thank you.
Like if you look at our situation, right? If you really got the eyes that you're supposed to have, it's gonna make you think, well, damn, like this shit all broke up. It's all bad. Like we can't fix this, right? You know, that's how it really looks, because that's really how it is, right? But to make it simple, like the first step simply is to man your household. If every Black man and woman man their household and raise their kids correctly, is going to create that balance where we have the imbalance.
Did you just hear me say that we as a people are fucked up? Right?
Yeah, I ain't talking about the fucked up ones.
No, what I'm saying is we as a people, there's so much damage, right?
I agree.
Before we could ever come up with a plan to deal with the forces that oppose us outside of our community, we got to deal with ourselves first. We have to deal with what is drawing Black men and Black women away from each other. We have to deal with the things that's creating the toxicity, because my dear sister be using the big ass words, toxicity. That's about 5 syllables.
Hey, Dawgface.
Toxic behavior, motherfucker.
It's that development right there that creates our shield. Addressing that is going to create our shield from go ahead, all that we go through.
I'm gonna act. Hey, Henny, Black people, we are fucked up, and there's nothing we can do to fix ourselves in time. And see, listen, how much time do we got to just be? No, we fucked up and just let it. How? I mean, we fucked up. We don't get along. We toxic. With the Black family unit fucked up. The white man did this. The white man did that. The white man put this policy in place. Hey, nigga, if you're wise enough to know and understand that the white man has done all this, what are you doing with that knowledge? Well, I'm conscious, but little Bobby and little Sue, and little Walla Manisha, they ain't trying to hear it. Off with they motherfucking heads.
I agree. But you know, it's like the analogy that you gave, right? If they're not trying to listen, if they're just hell bent and determined, turn their ass to the wild. That you're gonna have to.
Hey,
Because at
listen.
this particular point in time, you could say raise your kids right, but we know good and damn well you could put blood, sweat, and tears into a child and you still rolling the dice. Because at who they are outside the house, and y'all know I'm speaking from experience.
Yeah.
Who
Hey, you
they
know what's
are
crazy?
outside that house is a whole nother person. And it ain't the person that you raised. It's the person that them streets got a hold to and turn them into. It's the influences around them. But this is why we're missing community. We don't have community. Let me tell you something. Growing up, if I did something on the west side of the projects, whoever seen me do it on the west side of the projects, let my ass have it. And by the time I got home, my granny knew about it and whooped my motherfucking ass. If I did something on the south side of the projects, my granny, and depending upon who it was and how close they was to my family, they was going to whoop my ass. And then I got my ass whooped when I got home. And I'm not saying that is the main reason, but that's community. Now you can't talk to nobody's child. You can't correct nobody's child. You can't say nothing. They don't even want family members touching your kid. Don't whoop my child. Don't hit my child. My mama can't whoop my children. So when you start getting into that type of stuff, the things that people look at and say, oh, that was toxic to us. That damaged us. No, that kept our asses in line, disciplined. So now you got people that will watch your children go down the road, do some fuck shit, and won't say nothing to you, but will sit back and gossip about it with other people. And that goes for man, woman, grandparent. People will sit back and talk about your child before they will come and let you know what your child is out here doing. See, back then, I know where I grew up, they knew what we were doing because somebody was always watching. I call them the designated babysitters. Them old women that would be sitting out on the bench or sitting out on the stoop that be watching the kids every day, watching, talking. They know what's going on with us. Somebody had an eye on us. Now nobody got an eye on the kids, or they just don't give a damn because they know the mama are going to come out here hooping and hollering and ready to fight because you done said something to their child. So, yeah, everybody that don't want to see better, be better, do better, live better, just stay in the wild. Just stay over there. Get it, go. Bye. Bye.
Hey, I'm going to say something.
Hold on. Hey, Henny, go in your settings and turn echo cancellation off because we're using mixers. Is it off?
Wait a minute.
Go to your settings on your StreamYard and turn echo cancellation off.
Okay. It's still echoing.
I'm echoing?
I'm echoing.
Yeah.
Shit. All right, so we're going to mute up. Go ahead, Henny.
So I was just saying it goes back to the nucleus. And Jesse, you could suck my motherfucking dick hole because you've been out here antagonizing every fucking body and out here talking about the bullshit you've been talking about in these comments. I'm going to take it that you ain't black. And you think that you have a right to come and speak up on black issues when we talking about this shit. If you ain't for us, you against us. So fuck you and the dick you wrote in on, ho.
Hey, watch this, right? This might be a little controversial, a little bit, right? If you don't really get it, right? But as a race of people, and I'm talking about the black people, it's an echo. Yeah, y'all muted. Okay, as a race of black people, we have to grow back into our righteousness, right? And we know that we ain't gonna be able to obliterate a whole right race of people, right? So what do they got to do? They have to grow out of their devilishness, right? If it was ever a race war, you'll see black people on the white side trying to kill black people. And you're also going to see white people on the black side trying to kill white people.
Wait a minute, hold on. Because you may also see black people on the black side trying to kill another black person.
Well, yeah.
Say I'm lying.
Consider that as well. But watch this though, right? Yeah. You know, that's a possibility, right? But you know, it's kind of like if it ever gets down to a race war, that I'm saying that to say that that's a time where people are going to be forced to choose what side to be on. So, you know,
I feel like
there's going to be some white people fighting for black people, and there's going to be some black people fighting for white people if it ever was that kind of day. But what I'm saying is, as far as growth and development, black people we as a black nation of people have to grow back into our righteousness, and white people have to grow out of their wickedness. That's the only how we have any kind of form or any possibility of harmony. What that's going to take is a whole nother story.
Dawg brought up the Willie Lynch letters. And I want everybody, whatever chat you in, if you've read the Willie Lynch letter, please put a 1 in the chat because I want to see something.
Yeah, that's a cold
Because
piece.
I know that there at one point in time they were trying to debunk it and say that it was a lie and it didn't come out here and it wasn't written then and it was written at this time. It don't matter when it was written. But what you cannot say is that it is not real, because when you read it, you understand that this has been planted, rooted a long time ago. And the main thing that they talked about was breaking the man down and feminizing him. We see that now. Breaking the woman down and emasculating her. We see that now. Separating the black man and the black woman. We see that. I mean, everything that's in that book, it has made manifest.
Yep. Even if it was metaphoric to something else, there's still a truth in it.
And they said it will go for generations. So now we're the elders. We on deck to be the elders. And the matriarchs and the menarchs, or whatever the men are called. Patriarchs. The matriarchs and the patriarchs of the family. So I feel like it's up to us, with all our wisdom and knowledge and education and discipline and life lessons and all of that. It's our job to now sit and do exactly what we're doing now and educate and ignite and spark and show. It's not a matter of who speaks more eloquently, who has more this or that. It's about educating our people and bringing our people back into a unity with one another. If I could pick an era to live in, I would live in the 70s. You know why? Because when I look back in the era that I was born in, there was so much black pride. There was so much love for self. There was so much togetherness. And that's what we need. We need more of that. And we need to be overprotective of not just ourselves, not just our families, because it starts there, but with our community. We're not a violent people by nature. Because if we were a violent people by nature, if we were these vicious animals that they say we are by nature, we wouldn't be so welcoming to others. And we cannot deny that us as a community is very welcoming to other people. We embrace other people. For them to stab us in the back, we've been the vibration and frequency of love. We've been taught violence. We knew survival. We knew hunting. We knew war, yes. But we were taught this vicious level of violence. So we need to, go ahead, dog. Oh, we need to somehow, as the elders, we need to start bringing that back into place.
I have a question. So you know how they have dating apps like, I think Black Planet and Black People Meet and all that, right? They have dating apps for black people, right? To link
Yeah,
up.
but I ain't on them.
I think you, hey, throw a rock.
Was that a little guilty? Was that a little
Throw a
guilty?
rock into a pack of dog, and the motherfucker that holler, that's the one that will get hit. Throw a rock into a pack of dog, and the one that holler, you better cut that shit out here. We told you about that motherfucking shit you do. They gonna kill your motherfucking ass.
My name is Henny and I am single.
Yeah, don't start that shit. Do not start that.
And I like to date in real life.
This is not no dating app. So listen, but look at the Black People Meet shit, right? App where you can meet. We need a real nigga app, a pro black app. I'm black app. We need I'm black app, and I understand that white racism is real, and I understand that we shouldn't say nigga in front of white people, and I understand we should check white people when they say nigga. But we need an app that people can join who are like-minded, who want to be financially literate, who want to have quality education, who not with all the goofy dumbass shit, who ain't trying to destroy each other. We need an app where people can find each other who think like that.
Create it. You got the
will.
means and the money, go create it.
I
Call
think
it the
I
real
will.
nigga app. I said, create the app. You got the means. You got the you got, and then you look, you the superstar of the bunch. So you get out there and promote your shit and everything and call it, you know. I think but honestly, I think that is a good idea. You know, once upon a time, that's what Black Planet was supposed to be. It was supposed to be by us, for us, and about our culture. I don't know what Black Planet is about now because you just mentioned it as a damn dating app, and that just, whoa.
Hey, but really, really not necessarily dating, right? Like on that app, you know, every Black person that has a skill or a quality or a knowledge that can help correct and improve our people, that's what that person will be known for. They will. It's like a pool of Black resources for Black people. That would be nice. You got your doctors on there. You got your lawyers on there. You got your personal trainers on there. You got your herbalists on there. You got your, you know, all the specialists that it takes to civilize people. They will be on there, and they will be on there for their services, bro, to uplift our people and bring them back to one. That'd be nice, man. That'd be nice. I probably wouldn't be as mean and mad no more. Niggas got me on defense, I swear.
Okay, listen.
Well, it would also need to have history.
I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah, and current events.
I need y'all to text me right now, because I'm finna call a man Jeff, who builds apps. Right, I'm finna call him right now. I need y'all to text me what the app should have, all the criteria that it should have for independent thinking, right thinking Black people, and I'm going to send that information over to Jeff and have him build out and code out an app.
You talking to chat?
No, you and Henny,
Okay,
and whoever else. If the Henny gang has something, the Dog Pound got something, send it to us. What should this app consist of when we are trying to match? Not fucking. We ain't trying to fuck nobody. We're trying to build a community of people who are proper thinking, right thinking people.
Where you can come and get Black questions answered.
Yes.
Hey, I'm on my phone today, Dawgface. So I'm at to text mine when I get off this phone.
Well, are we going to get to the other topics? Are we going to talk about?
Go right
ahead.
Stuff? Go. This ain't my show. It's your show.
This ain't my show. All right, so gentlemen, I believe y'all already talked about the Sydney Star situation that happened, where Sydney Star, who is a transgender woman, went out and got caught committing sexual acts against a minor. And shortly thereafter, Sydney Star got exposed. Saucy Santana, with his Quiet on the Creek song, was caught on video saying that men want to fuck him, kids want to fuck him, women want to fuck him. Now, I'm surprised that Saucy hasn't gotten. I'm going to go here first, and then I'm going to go ahead into the other issues. Or matter of fact, Dog, you can go into the other issues because I know you got a lot to say. So I'm going to start here. That Quiet on the Creek song did not get the backlash that Young Miami's were on my scamming ass niggas at. And that Quiet on the Creek song, I know. Ladies, y'all hear it and Quiet on the Creek. But if you listen to the words of that song, he's saying things like he got a baby mama and how the man is still going to trick on him because he quiet on the creek, but won't come out and say that it's about down low creeping. Trying to say, oh, well, when I was little, we had to be quiet on the creek when we was fishing. But the lyrics to the song are talking about being quiet on the creek and getting tricked on by a dude that has a girl. And this is an issue. And then not only that, you got the whole situation that just came out. And I'm sorry, I watched Funky Dineva, and that's what Funky Dineva is part of that community. And what Funky Dineva said was absolutely 1000% correct. These acts have set them back because all of that they tried to tell us went out the window with this. And one more thing about Quiet on the Creek before I turn the mic over to Dog. As a woman, you should not be listening to Quiet on the Creek. Quiet on the Creek should have been getting the loud backlash that Young Miami got. because it's encouraging down low behavior. And that is a huge issue, especially within the Black community. They've already launched attacks saying that it's our fault, Black women, that there are even down low men because we don't want a bisexual man. And it's been deemed as being homophobic. No, it's a preference. I'm sorry. I don't want a man that's been with a man. I want a man. And they keep trying to tell us that every man we've been with has probably been in a down low situation or is down low and we don't know it. And listen, no, be loud about this creek. Okay, we loud about the Black woman coming out with a song that was promoting scamming and stealing and boosting and shit. But we accept the song Quiet on the Creek when it's ultimately disrespectful to us. So that's what I got to say about it all. And now I'm going to turn it over to Dawg because he got a lot to say about Saucy and Sydney. So I'm going to mute him.
You're right about the backlash. And what does the lack of backlash, and both of these people know each other. Saucy Santana and Young Miami, I believe they're both from Miami, or they've been knowing each other a long time. They're both from Florida, I believe, right? You're absolutely
They're best friends.
You're absolutely correct that people have glossed over the whole Saucy Santana quiet on it, which he is celebrating sissy behavior. You know why? Because this world is controlled by homosexuals. They are more afraid. Listen, why is that? Because people are more afraid of the homosexual empire than they are about a bunch of niggas and a bitch who like dick. Niggas, right thinking niggas and bitches who like dick and niggas who like pussy, we don't got no power no more. We are outnumbered. We live in the same kind of world that he who created the heavens and the earth decided to destroy multiple times. If there was ever a time for fire and brimstone, was it 7 plagues? There's 7 plagues of death to be visited upon a human population, right? Don't forget, God sent fire and brimstone on Sodom and Gomorrah for the same thing that we got going on in the world right now. Because he knew that it was so unstable with wrong-thinking people who had convinced right-thinking people that they were wrong. We're living in that time now. Jesus, if you coming, bring your ass. I don't give a fuck if you white, black, or you Chinese. We need you here right now to deal with this debauchery. This shit is the book of Revelations we living in. Of course, you don't get the condemnation for Quiet on the... I never even heard the song. But I know it is... I'm... Go ahead.
Well, I ain't said nothing. It's only because the level of ignorance is so self-explanatory. I don't even want to touch this subject for real. It is what it is. What else we got?
Hold on.
Dawgface cooking.
Mute up. Hey, listen, man. Welcome to the Real Life Unfiltered. Everybody mute up. Hey, listen, my name is Dawgface Calderon. This is Underdog. This is my sister, Henny. Henny Gang is in full effect. Hey, Henny Gang. It's my sister. Love my sister, goddammit. I'll fight a brick and drown a whale by my sister. Hey, listen. Do we have to talk about Sydney Star? Did we already touched on it? But by a show of hands, do I have to create a poll? By a show of hands from the chat, which one of you are happy? I'm saddened that a child had to be molested by that beast. But if the term karma is a bitch ever applied to anything, this would be it. Sydney Star has been arrested for engaging in sexual activity with a minor. How old was the minor, Henny?
13, 14 years old.
And so Sydney Star. So this is what I say this is what I mean when I say people who engage in homosexuality, I'm sorry. I look at them as pedophiles too. I look at them like they'll engage in any type of sexual shit to satisfy their urge. I look at it like that. Most pedophiles are homosexuals. I want to. When you look at the Catholic Church, them priests, they're not raping little girls. They raping altar boys, little boys. Sydney Star, I hope you rot in jail, you bitch ass nigga. You right where you need to be. Since you want to rape people. Oh, don't go in there telling nobody. Don't go to protection, bitch ass nigga. Stand tall, you raping bitch. Stand tall, be the gangster you was, and when that little boy you was dealing with.
So here's my thing. Aside from the karma being a bitch, there's another aspect to all of this, right? So you fucked up Chingy's life, killed his whole career. You did this thing with this little boy, and they said that where she was one of them carded floors, or he was. I don't even know. Was one of them carded floors. So it's not like this little boy was able to just get up there to Sydney without Sydney knowing. So Sydney knew. But see, the karma for Sydney is your ass is sitting in jail with titties and an ass and a whole job to your body like a female. You better pray to whatever God that you pray to, that you make it out safe. Don't drop the soap.
Henny, that's the first thing that bitch gonna do.
On purpose.
That's the first thing that little bitch gonna do.
Somebody said she don't have to be quiet on the creek anymore. Why are y'all like this?
Saucy Santana is a spillover. Sydney Star is a spillover, right? This country, the world that we live in, not just this country, it's becoming increasingly inhabitable for people who I consider to be right-thinking people. If you don't acknowledge or listen, so we were talking, Henny, and we talked about how once upon a time there was, okay, well, you're gay. So gay rights was fought for inclusivity, right? To not be discriminated against. But now the gay agenda is trying to force you to acknowledge the appropriateness of something that you may find objectionable. Hey, listen, me not trying to kill you because you're gay, that's all fine and dandy, right? Even though I'm an Old Testament ass nigga. I ain't one of these New Testament ass, 2 Timothy ass niggas. I'm a Numbers nigga. I'm a Deuteronomy ass nigga, right? I'm one of them Old Testament books. No, it's 66 books of the Bible.
Look at him knowing about the Bible.
I'm one of them Old Testament ass niggas, right? I ain't one of them turn the other cheek ass Romans Peter, no. Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John, fuck them. Take me back to that old time religion where a nigga cut your hand off for stealing. Take me back there. Despite the fact I used to be a thief, and so if that shit was, no, start the shit after I get done stealing. And then don't make it retroactive so they can't fuck with me. You know how we get it. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go. I ain't nothing but a mess.
I mean, okay, so when we were talking, I was saying, you know, back in the day, everybody had an Uncle Peaches or a cousin Peaches. Like we all had somebody that was a part of the community back in the day, right? But they lived their life. You know, I lived in New York, so they went down to the village and they did their thing. And I had a gay uncle and a gay cousin, right? Older cousin. I never saw my uncle dress in drag, but he used to go down to the village and do drag shows. But when I saw him, he was always dressed as a man, carried himself as a man. My cousin, whose literal nickname was Peaches, worked in a hair shop, dressed as a man, carried himself as a man, but he had that little to him. But we never saw them with their lovers. We never saw into their lifestyle. We may have known that they had what they used to call sugar in their tank, but it wasn't on like pressed upon. You understand what I'm saying? And then when I got older, I understood their lifestyle, but I was older. Now it's to a point where we are being forced. And that's the part that I can't get with. Okay, I can't get with it. Love who you love, screw who you want to screw, and do what you want to do with your life because it does not affect me. But when you start trying to force me to be a cisgendered woman, no, bitch, I'm a woman. And it has nothing to do with transphobia. I am a woman. I was born that way. My birth certificate says that I was born female. I have gone through the natural progressions from being a baby girl to a little girl to a teenage girl to a young woman to an adult. I have been this. I have gone through the process of menstruating, growing breasts, growing an ass and getting hips and shit, birthing children, now going through perimenopause and all of that. I've gone through that. You can't relate to me having cramps or women going through endometriosis or having breast cancer. You cannot relate cervical cancer. You can't relate to our experience. But if you want to call yourself a woman, I have nothing to do with yourself calling you a woman. Slap a wig and dress on and say you a woman all you want to. But do not try to force me to accept your verbiage, to accept your labels when I don't want to. And then don't say that it's about a phobia. It's not about a phobia. It's about respect. Okay, then to tell me that I have a phobia against bisexual men or gay men because I want to date a straight man. No, I have a preference. Nobody is saying anything to you because you like to get tooted and booted and shooted in. That's your preference. Okay, you might like that. I don't like that. I want a man. That your preference is not women. So should we say that you are heterophobic? Like, come on now. Then when you say heterophobic, they tell you there's no such thing as heterophobia. Well, it's an attack on heterosexuals because in a minute, it's going to be nothing but you have to identify as, and this is coming from a woman who in my younger years identified as a bisexual woman. Okay, I realized that I like men more than I do. And that's where I stay in my lane, is I like men. But at the end of the day, I wasn't forcing that on anybody. That wasn't nobody's business. And I wasn't saying you got to accept me. Another thing is you cannot force me to mentally wrap my head around something that has been the norm for me my whole life. You want to identify yourself as non-binary? That's cool. But if I'm in a space where you identify, prime example, I go to the lady doctor. I specifically I do not want a male doctor. I go in there. I have a non-binary person who's going to examine me. I am uncomfortable with a strange man examining me. And I'm looking at you and you look like a man, but you're telling me you're non-binary. And then when I ask to reschedule my appointment, I get the dirty looks. You look like a man. You may not identify as one, but what my eyes see and my brain registers is a man. See, when you start impeding on spaces, it's a problem. That's the problem. Don't nobody give a shit what you do. Go. Follow the line down the yellow brick road with a whole rainbow dress and wig on. Don't nobody care what you're doing. That's your life. Live it. Live it out loud. But when you force it, that's the problem that I have. And that's not a phobia. That's my right, because you're impeding on my rights. You're trying to tell me what I am when I've been what I am my whole life. So if you want to be called a woman and you want to be identified as she and her, fine. I don't have a problem with that. Go ahead, girl. But at the same time, don't tell me that I have to take on what you tell me I have to take on. Don't blame Black women for the reason why Black men are on the down low. Don't do that, because we ain't got nothing to do with that. And that's my stance on it. What you do is what you do, but don't force that shit on me.
Why are so many Black women supporting the LGBTQ? Why are so many Black women on the front line of trying to push the overall acceptance of transgenders on society? Why are Black women so heavily involved in this whole push? Like, for example, the WNBA. We got a lot of shit going on with the WNBA, where the WNBA have basically said that there's no difference, and I'm paraphrasing here, right? The WNBA says that it's going to recognize, or that it does recognize, trans players, meaning women who identify themselves as women who are going to play in the...
I think it's trans.
Let me pull this up for you. What the fuck do we got going on here?
Mute up for a second. I'm going to answer that first part before you trail off into something else.
Gotcha. I'm muted.
I can't speak for all Black women, but what I will say is, for me, I don't care what another motherfucker do. I really don't. I don't care who they love. I don't care what, because it doesn't affect me. So for me, I mean, it's not a matter of I'm pushing their agenda. And I'm speaking for me, because I can't speak for all Black women. But I don't care what you do. I don't care. After careful, can I finish talking? That's what it is with me. I just don't care what a person do, because it's not for me. At the end of the day, I don't have a heaven or hell to put you in. So me judging you, I don't have nothing to do with that. But like I said, it's the forcing of it that I can't get with. I don't give a damn if somebody's walking down the street hugged up with a goddamn giraffe saying, "This is my wife," rubbing on his booty. That's your wife? Oh, okay. That's not my business. But when you're forcing this in our faces, trying to make us conform, no, not doing it. I love people. I don't judge people. But that's just me. I don't judge people. Just don't try to make me do some shit. I'm rebellious.
Underdog.
We addressing the WNBA, right? I think it's a clear-cut thing for me, right? Like, it's just like certain issues, to me, like, I immediately weigh the level of bullshit in it, and it's the bullshit is at such a high level. At the end of the day, I don't care what your jumper doing, I don't care what your dunk doing. It's still man against woman, and we can't get past that. So, being that we can't get past that, I don't know what the fuck to say after that. Like, that's the fucking no. I'm not voting for that shit. You know what I mean? And I don't give a fuck how feminine, fuck the word. You know what I'm trying to say? How feminine you is, right? I don't care how feminine you is. At the end of the day, you got dick and nuts. She has a vagina. These are two different genetics. When a man grows up, he grows into a physical strength that a woman can't grow in. Like, we see it all the time. Like, women's greatest challenge when they in the gym, they want to do pull-ups like men do. But females can't do as many pull-ups as men can. And that's just because their genetic makeup is not going to allow them. So we put that on the athletic level. Like, what the fuck are you asking for? And soon as a man put that body on a female and hurt her, like that's not a basketball foul no more. That's more of an assault, as far as how I look at it. Like, you got a whole man crashing into a woman. Like, I don't get that. Like, it's self-explanatory. It's a man against a woman. But at the end of the day, we know that this world is built on sport and play. And if these motherfuckers who run this shit want to see sport and play, this right here is going to be a reality because they want to see it.
I just personally feel like you shouldn't be in women's sports. And I know that the argument is, well, they take estrogen and it lowers their testosterone. Thank you. It lowers their testosterone levels. But at the end of the day, stop taking that estrogen and watch your testosterone go back up. You still carry, no matter what you do, as a trans woman, if you have the surgery or not, it doesn't matter what you do, even if you have the surgery and you appear to be a woman, your DNA is still going to say male DNA, regardless. You can't get away from it. So you are genetically still identified as male. You have no, you should not be in women's sports. Now, I would be interested to hear how these lady athletes feel about this, because I wouldn't be playing no more. You're not coming in. No.
I think it's trans rights now is arguing about. I think it's trans rights now is arguing about all the trans people's rights being stripped away from them. There's a lot of discourse around trans athletes and what they can compete in. I would welcome a trans athlete on my team or against my team anytime. I don't think it's a problem in the world. It's just another way to kind of attack trans people. I guess that's the next battle. I think.
Brittany Griner is, in fact, a man. One of the videos that give us cause to say that is this video. It is from her Instagram stories from years and years ago. And when it comes to Brittany Griner,
the WNBA, as of now, just released a statement saying that within the next week, they're scheduled to hold a press conference where they are saying they're going to give out the criteria for who is and who isn't considered a trans man, and who is, what type of trans person is or isn't allowed to try out for a WNBA team.
Hey,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Why is it always the trans women? Because there's trans men out here too. And you don't ever hear trans men fighting to get into male spaces. You're not hearing trans men trying to get into the NBA or trying to play men's sports or any of that. Why is it that the trans women are always trying to come into? I'm gonna shut up because I'm about to get annoyed.
I'm just trying to think outside the box, right? Because like at the end of the day, it don't make sense, right? But it's still a possibility that it could happen, right? And I'm just looking at it like why, right? And one of the whys that it could possibly be, they trying to use this as a catapult to generate bigger salary for these goddamn women NBA players, because they complain about that a lot too. I'm just trying to figure out the angle of this shit. Like once you get some men on there, that's a couple trans on there. Can y'all use that to say that we should be getting paid more now? The men NBA players get paid this much. We got men on our team. I don't know. I don't
Rift
know.
has erupted within the
I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I've said it a long time ago, but I'm going to say it again. You know, ladies, it's become, I think, a problem amongst us. Talking to my ladies. When we start getting into all of this, looking like, y'all do know them BBL surgeries and all of that shit, removing your rib and lipo and tucking you in and shaping, reshaping and sculpting your body. You know that was a trans thing, right? All of this contouring of the face that we do with the makeup. I don't do it, but y'all do it. The contouring of the face that gets done and all of that to reshape the face and alter how you look. All of that stuff came from the trans community. Okay, trans community. The makeup, it came from the trans community and the drag community. Okay, because they have to contour their faces to soften it, to soften the appearance. A lot of y'all contour your faces and look like men. Then you go out here, you get your body done. Everybody's body is done the same way, so y'all all look alike. Because you're getting something that is making you feel like. So I'm wondering if that's playing a part in why inclusive. Like, you're getting your bodies done like us. You do your makeup like us. Why we can't be one of y'all? I'm wondering if that is a thing that's going on with this. I don't know. What say you?
Everything you just said is right. Women and their styles of dress and their makeup and hair is all trans. This is all some RuPaul shit. You know what I'm saying? The top makeup style artists in the country, in the world, are gay men. And there was a big push. I remember in Detroit, there was a big push where people, it was like a social media uproar where the guys were saying, man, a lot of you chicks get the big eyebrows coming together, all them strong cheeks. You look like a trans, like a drag queen. The drag queen lifestyle has taken over black everything. Fashion, makeup, attitudes, everything. The sassy, talk back, fuck you ass shit. That's really like that's some sissy shit. Listen to this right here. Tell me what y'all think.
A major cultural rift has erupted within the WNBA following comments by Indiana Fever guard Sophie Cunningham opposing the inclusion of biological male athletes who identify as, quote, transgender in women's sports. In an interview with ESPN, Cunningham said, "I want to protect young girls in a locker room or young girls in sport who shouldn't have to go against biological men." Cunningham defended her stance as common sense, adding, "There are rights that need to be protected." The issue has polarized fans and figures across the league, sparking both protests and counter rallies outside games. The situation has even sparked intense national debate over inclusion, fairness, and the core identity of women's sports. Joining me now is Caitlin Wheeler, a member of the Independent Council on Women's Sports, a former SEC champion swimmer, and a plaintiff in the landmark Gaines versus the NCAA lawsuit challenging policies that allow biological male athletes to compete in women's sports. Caitlin, such a pleasure for you to join us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Veronica. It's great to be here.
In your opinion, why has Sophie Cunningham's comments generated such a strong reaction?
Well, Veronica, the thing that stands out to me, I think the most about Sophie is that she didn't have to do this. And I think that's what people need to understand here is Sophie is already successful. She's already an incredible athlete with a great platform. She could have easily stayed silent or quiet on this issue like so many other female athletes have. And honestly, I think that would have probably been the safer decision in this case. But we've seen what happens when women stand up and speak up about this issue. There's often a lot of criticism and immediate consequences that follow, people questioning their character. But Sophie chose to speak up anyways. And to me, that's what courage and bravery looks like. Courage isn't saying something when everyone agrees with you. That's the easy thing to do. Courage is saying it and doing the right thing,
even when it may cost you something. And I think that's why so many young women and women, older women, myself, respect her and look up to her, is because she isn't doing this because she wants attention. She's doing this because she believes that women's sports and those little girls on the court out there who look up to her and have goals like she did, I'm sure, at one point. She knows that those girls are worth fighting for, and that women's sports is worth protecting.
Now, this all set off because of the recently signed collective bargaining agreement between the WNBA and the Women's National Basketball Players Association. It says only players who are women are eligible to play in the WNBA, but the CBA doesn't actually define a woman. So there's been a lot of pushback. This is something you experienced in your own sport. Can you tell us a little bit more about your thoughts on this and where it goes from here?
Absolutely. This is the part that is hard for me to understand, is the WNBA that exists because women have their own category. It's not controversial. It's the reason that the league exists is, women have professional sports because we know that women deserve opportunities to compete against other women. Keyword women. The fact that they can't even define the word is silly to me. All you have to do is open a science book or a biology book and you'll understand. But the question becomes, how can an organization that was created to celebrate women, to platform women, is hesitant to defend the very thing that makes women's sports possible? How can the women who benefited from these opportunities not want to protect those same opportunities for the next generation? So it's baffling to me to understand that this organization refuses to take the right and, most logical, common sense stance. But I think their viewers are beginning to see through all of it and realize that, Sophie Cunningham is doing the right thing here. And I'm hoping that many more female athletes will do the same.
Before we let you go, you're also a plaintiff in Gaines versus the NCAA. Can you give us a brief update on where that case stands and why you believe it remains an important legal battle?
Absolutely. We have an active case that's suing the NCAA for violating Title IX, which we know to be the statute that protects sex-based opportunities for athletes and many other areas, but specifically in sports, keeping men out of them. So this lawsuit is huge. It's going to be the next step in what determines college athletics, where we go from here as women's sports, but across the board, I think even in high school and middle school, all the age ranges, I think will set the precedent for the future of women's sports for sure.
Listen, what locker room are they going into? I want to know what the criteria is.
The bitch niggas going in the same locker room with the bitches.
No, they can't, because they still have a dick. I'm sorry to be so vulgar. Yes, it do. It still work. Again, this is one of those things where don't force yourself on me. I think they need to do a survey of how people are feeling about this. There should have been a question. Excuse me, I'm allergic to bullshit. There should have been some type of consensus taken with female athletes to see how they feel about this. I cannot.
I think it will be, though.
This world needs an enema. No.
I think a lot of women are not saying nothing because they're not at that stage where they believe that they're going to pull this bullshit off. But I do believe
they don't want no backlash. Because see, here's the thing. When you buck up against the LGBTQ plus AI, whatever community, no disrespect, I just don't know all of the acronyms for it. LGBTQ to me, LGBT to me. But anyway, they don't want the backlash, because when you go up against them and you buck up against them, they have canceling power. They have more rights than a white person, a black person. And yes, I said, because if a white person go up against them, they're gonna catch them flames too. Like they have a whole systematic power behind them. They will rally against you. They will come and you will get so much backlash. Nobody wants to deal with that bullshit. So people stay quiet and stay shut. And to me, that's a form of silent bullying. No. That is a woman's space. Why does it have to? You come in the bathroom with us, you go to the doctors with us, you like, but then you blame us for everything that goes wrong. Like, and then I'm not going to say everybody, but there's a lot of trans women that hate biological women and just blame us for every goddamn thing that goes wrong in their life. I just listen, create your own NBA, the Transnational Basketball Association. Do that. Start that. Like, what's wrong with that? Why can't y'all have your own stuff for yourselves? Like, if you got your own I don't know, because I ain't trying to get us fucking canceled, but goddamn.
Go ahead, Dawgface.
He like seeing me flustered.
Unmute, bro. You muted, bro.
I'm trying to think of a way to say what I want to say without violating YouTube policy.
Right.
So, you know how you have the Special Olympics?
Right.
Why can't a nigga in a wheelchair play on the? I mean, so listen. I have a couple of questions, but you know what I'm saying? So are we now at the point where, so you know how you have black people in America, you have foundational black Americans? So foundational black Americans are Americans who were born and raised in this country and whose mothers and fathers were born and raised in this country. So we're different from Africans and people who migrate over foot, right? So are we now at the point where we are saying that you have women and then you have trans women, but they're equal? Are trans women, are men who identify? So it's one thing for you to be gay, okay? You're a woman, you like to eat a little pussy. Don't we all? Right, I get it. Right? You're a man, you want to put a dick in your head, that's on you, player. Catch a cold if you want to. Right? So here's what I'm saying. I'm a child, bro. Right? So listen, here's what I'm saying. So have we now come to the point to where we are saying that transgender men are equal to women? And as such, we
correct
have
your terminology, dog. They're transgender women. Transgender men are women who are living their lives as men.
Now they should be able to play with the women. Like we're gonna match DNA. That's it. I don't care how y'all play it and how that word game go left or right.
So you saying the men? So the women? What I'm confused.
I'm saying the women who trying to be men, y'all can WNBA it all day. But the men that's trying to be women, you still a man. You cannot go. You cannot participate. So yeah, they can have they can have they ain't doing but taking testosterone and hitting the gym hard. That's all they doing. The women.
Well, why can't the transgender women go play in the NBA? Why they can't go over there?
Now I got it all twisted. You talking about the man trying to be the woman or the woman trying to be the man? I'm all fucked up on that shit though. I ain't even try to unscribble the shit for real. So say it like that.
The men trying to be women, the men that identify as women, go play in the NBA, and the women that identify as men go play in the WNBA because now you're equal.
I don't care how you look at it. It's still a mismatch.
But go over there.
No,
put
you got to match it.
on and hold your boobies down and go play over there.
If it's a duck, we're gonna call it a duck.
But it ain't a duck.
It is.
It's not, because you got ducks out here parlaying as swans, and they
I don't care what they parlaying as. They
getting away with it.
Hey, I don't care. That's just like getting away with a crime.
But you can't. But
I mean, you
gonna let.
commit
Okay,
it.
so you got a bunch of ducks in the pond with a bunch of swans trying to be swans, but they're ducks. So let the ducks go be with the ducks and the swans be with the swans.
Absolutely. That's DNA.
But
Male
that's
DNA.
what I just said.
That's hey, I told you I'm all screwed up about this whole
The
male is the
trans
male
women
shit.
are the women that are trying to be the men that are trying to be women that are trying to get into the WNBA now. Put their asses over on the NBA because they're still men.
Absolutely.
Then you take the transgender men who are the women who live their life as a man and put them over there at the WNBA. Because yes, that's what I mean by the ducks with the ducks and the swans with the swans.
That's right. Because watch this, right? It's already undercover homosexuals that's in the NBA with the men. They over there. You know, a couple of them that came out of their closet. You know what I mean? So they can deal with that discomfort themselves. You know, at the end of the day, you acting like a female, but you got dick and nuts between you, so between your legs. So you're supposed to be over here. I don't like it, but you're still a man. You're still a man. So I don't like that you're over here as a man and you want to be received as a woman. No, you're not. You're a man.
I don't know. I'm all confusion because then if they go to the NBA, where they gonna shower at? They gonna go in the women's shower room because they got titties and a dick. Like I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm vulgar. I'm trying. I think
I'm just saying. I'm only saying that if they have to be placed somewhere.
Why not just have their own league? Why not start the Transnational Basketball Association and then you could have the Trans Men League and the Trans Women League? Why not?
Absolutely.
Why not do that? Talk to negotiate that with the NBA.
I agree. It should be like that. If they want to see it.
And then you have the sports that your community will come out and support. And hell, maybe we might come out and support too and watch y'all ball because it's sports, right? Sports is supposed to be universal, but come on, man. All of that, you going over here with us and then you see the mismatch. Like, look at how tall you are compared to the rest of these women. You towering over them, and then you got the muscles all in your arm and shit.
Man, you see the background on that fool?
Imagine me trying to play basketball against underdog. Somebody built like underdog. Come on, man.
I ain't playing with him. I ain't playing with him. No, I'm not.
So the biggest name in women's basketball is weighing in the biggest controversy currently embroiling the league. Superstar Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever responded to questions about teammate Sophie Cunningham recently making clear that transgender athletes should not be competing in women's sports.
It's not really a discussion we really have in our locker room. I think it's for leagues and the governing bodies to work with their athletes to find solutions, but our focus is on basketball, and that's what we talk about.
So Clark's comments came following a loss to the Minnesota Lynx last night, a game that saw the head coach of the Lynx, Cheryl Reeve, wearing a Trans Kids Belong t-shirt, no doubt in response to Fever star Sophie Cunningham's stance on the issue. The two were even seen having a conversation before the game began. Now, meanwhile, a similar conversation was unfolding outside the stadium. Both supporters and critics of Cunningham gathered for a third Fever game in a row. They were holding signs, they were wearing t-shirts with their viewpoint, and this all started when Cunningham gave an interview to ESPN nearly 2 weeks ago. In it, she voiced support for barring transgender girls and women from sports. The discourse reached a turning point last week when the co-owner of the Seattle Storm was fined and also suspended for 5 games for allegedly screaming at 2 teenage girls. The girls were holding a sign in support of Cunningham that said, "Thank you for speaking up for girls." The teens were also wearing XXXY t-shirts from a company that says its mission is to stand up for women's sports. Now, the co-owner was not the only one to berate the girls. This fan did not hold back. Take a listen to this.
You leave my daughter alone. Go. She's a minor. Get up. Security. Garbage. Take the trash out. Take the trash out.
So for those saying the players should just play, it is worth noting the WNBA has a long history of political activism. In 2020, players wore T-shirts that said Black Lives Matter on the front and say her name on the back, referencing the murder of Breonna Taylor. The league also put the phrase on the actual basketball courts. And in 2016, the WNBA became one of the first pro leagues to march with a float in New York City's Pride Parade. So what has changed in 2026? Well, critics say the outrage against Sophie Cunningham shows the WNBA allows players to express their opinions as long as they are progressive opinions. So is that what's going on here? Is that what the change is? Joining us now is former ESPN anchor Sage Steele. She also is the host of the Sage Steele Show. Thank you for being with us, Sage. It's nice to see you. First of all, what was your initial reaction to head coach of the Lynx, Cheryl Reeve, wearing a Trans Kids Belongs t-shirt to Sunday's game against Sophie Cunningham and the Fever? What did you first think when you saw it?
It was obviously a message she wanted to send loud and clear. And then I laughed. The reason I laughed is because it has nothing to do with trans kids. We are talking about men, grown men, saying that they're women who potentially, in the WNBA case, want to play in the WNBA. Right now, that hasn't happened yet, Brian. We're talking about how it is happening, though, throughout many other sports and many other levels. So we're trying to almost weaponize the word kid and children to, dig deep on the feelings of people instead of the facts, which are what? The science behind this, that men and women are different. And you can call yourself a woman, you can call yourself a cat, call yourself whatever you want, but the facts are what? Trans women are men. And the W in WNBA stands for women. So I just hate it when words like that are weaponized. And Sophie Cunningham made it very, very clear from day one, when, by the way, she didn't bring this up. She was asked by an ESPN reporter about this topic, and she answered. And then as the controversy brewed, she went on Twitter and said the same thing, which is, I am not trying to exclude anyone. Everybody is welcome at my table, but this is the WNBA, and I think it is incredible that she is the only current professional athlete on the women's side, certainly here in North America, of the major sports, that has chosen to state the obvious, that women's sports are for women.
Do you think others are just scared? I mean, look what happened to
Yes.
her. I mean, why get involved when you're going to face this kind of backlash publicly?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it is real. And I think Sophie Cunningham is feeling that now. I mean, many of us, this happened 5-6 years ago with COVID, and look at what was happened if you were just questioning the vaccine, right? So what do? You just stay quiet and you just don't talk about it. The problem is that too many people in this instance have chosen to stay quiet when this isn't even about an opinion, really. I mean, this comes down to the facts that women and men are biologically different. This has never been debated in the history of the world, and all of a sudden it is. I understand, Brian. I understand the fear. I understand why people go silent. But the question is, to what end? What is your line? We have 54 years of women who had fought for Title IX. And isn't it fascinating now that all the women that benefited from Title IX, past athletes, present athletes, are now quiet when it comes to protecting the young women who want to be them when they grow up. Mm-hmm. So the hypocrisy in this is thick. We need to commend Sophie, because it is scary, and she has continued to stand for truth. There are people on her team that disagree with her, who won't even back her publicly, maybe privately, but not publicly, including her head coach, when every single person knows that there is a difference. And I'll end on this. I'm sorry, obviously this is a passionate topic for me. Cheryl Reeve, the Lynx head coach who wore the Trans Kids Belong t-shirt yesterday, she is also on record very recently talking about how angry it makes her when men are taking over head coaching roles in the WNBA. So it's okay in certain areas, but not for head coaches, because that might directly affect her. Again, like, the hypocrisy is thick, and the irony with that inconsistency is something that we should not ignore.
Yeah, it's
Man, I like what she said. She said a mouthful. She basically said everything that we said uh uh on on live on camera. Like she basically said everything that we just said, you know. A man is a man, and they shouldn't be over there, you know. I agree with that. It's
So
simple to me, man.
my question is, so the LGBTQ's agenda, as it specifically relates to trans men who identify themselves as women. So let me ask you a question, Henny. In order to identify yourself as a trans man, do you have to have your dick and balls cut off, or can you just say I'm a woman?
To be a trans woman, all they've got to do is appear as a woman. A lot of them go and get their breasts done. Some of them will go get their body done. They dress as female. They live their life as female. Nothing about them says male. Everything is female with them.
But ain't
they
that
could still have their male bits.
Do you have to do all that?
Yeah, you have to dress it up though.
Consider accepted
Yes.
as a trans woman.
Yes.
You have to do all that.
That's identifying as a trans woman. Yes.
So
A man that lives his life as a woman.
Can a trans woman be gay?
Most of them are.
No, I mean, I know by the nature of them, but can a trans woman say, hey, I identify as a trans woman, but I'm a dyke? I like.
Well, there's very few that do that, but yeah, there's some women. There's fag hags and drag hags, and
this is
that's
too
what they
much for
call
me.
the females that do that.
This is too much.
You know what? I look at it
Look,
also
this is
too like
stupid.
I look at it also too like the LGBT. That's just like that's just them trying to get like a deeper position and a higher acceptance of that. You know what I mean? To where, you know, they function as a regular society. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, to me, they like it's like it's like trying to recruit or something, trying to, you know, make their whole organization or their whole entity relevant. You know what I mean? So if they get on the NBA, then yeah, that's a star for them. You know, I disagree with all of that, but you know, I try to disagree with it in a healthy way, but no, I disagree.
It's stupid.
What is a healthy
Intellectually,
way?
it's
What
What is a healthy way to What is a healthy way? There is no healthy way.
I'm saying more so as my word on saying
no.
fuck that shit.
I'm saying there is no healthy way. In the world that we live in now, there is no healthy way to express your displeasure or to express your non-support for men. So listen, if you're transgender, right? So we gotta get this gay shit together. So if you attracted to the same gender, okay. You want to have sexual relations with the same gender, we call that homosexual. Okay, no problem. You know what I'm saying? That was cool. But when you try to make people acknowledge and have to call you a woman when you're not a woman, bro, listen, being gay is being gay, right?
That's right.
You gay, you attract the same sex. Okay, cool. No problem, right? But I believe that it is a psychological sickness for a man to believe that he's a woman when he ain't.
Yeah, but you see, they trying to get that psychological sickness accepted and respected.
Well, hear what I'm saying. So listen, if you gay, that means you sexually attracted to the same, or emotionally, sexually attracted to the same gender. Cool. But when you are a man or a woman and you have convinced yourself that you are the opposite sex, if that is a psychological deficiency of some sort. You are insane.
Yeah, but watch this though, right? You know, that dude who thinks he's a girl or he wants to be a girl or he's trans into that girl, you know, he can say that, you know, I like men, right? But then he can also meet a rare woman to turn him on and he fucking her. That shit happens. So, man, this is too much.
This is dumb.
This is definitely revelation shit.
Because at the end of the day, the reason I say it's dumb is because at the end of the day, all of this stuff is new. Okay, and when you break it all down, it all breaks down to what it's always been. Gay, lesbian, bisexual. I don't care if you call yourself queer, you don't identify as what is it, pansexual, you're attracted to anything and will sleep with anyone. You'll sleep with a gay man, a straight man, a woman. You know, you just it all boils down to that.
Make it
all this
simple.
Extra stuff.
Yeah, don't let them complicate it. Make it simple.
Y'all,
Yeah.
look, it's a bit much. All right. And it goes back to what I said. What you want to do with your life and how you want to live your life is on you. But when you start impeding on people and forcing people and demanding spaces and look, y'all created your own laws and rights. You created your own community.
Let me ask you a
Create
question.
your own system of things. Create your own sports leagues so that y'all can have y'all sports. Like y'all have always been a separate from. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm quite sure a lot of people will agree with me, even people within that community. It's always the trans women. It's always them causing issues, like kicking up dirt and I am woman, hear me roar. Can you relax? Can you just go over there?
Dog, go
Like,
sit
come
down.
on. This is giving me a headache. It made me have a hot flash. I had to put my hair up off my neck and shit because it's too much. This world has become too much. And then you're trying to force people to bend their minds. No, I will not. That's not happening. Now you want to be a part of the WNBA. The NBA has always been supportive of the community. Give them their own fucking league, period. They have a fan base. And like I said, people will watch. I don't think people will have a problem watching trans women playing basketball because there's nothing gay about it. I don't think anybody would have a problem watching trans men play basketball because there's nothing gay about it. It's sports. And if they balling and they really playing ball hard, people are going to watch. But why does it have to be this? I just don't understand.
Hey, not me. As far as I'm going to go, I was in penitentiary. So in the penitentiary, we watched them white hoes play volleyball because them white hoes would get the big old asses with them little, with the beach volleyball. We watched the white hoes.
Hey, you already know. That was porn. That was porn for us, goddamn.
We male chauvinist pigs. I'm not watching no trans man run up and down the court. That's the same thing as watching them workout porn hoes. You know the workout hoes with the muscles. Hey, that's the same thing. Hey, yeah, you ever seen that porn with the muscle hoes? Bro, I can't watch that shit, bitch.
Hey, man, somebody love that shit, though. I'm telling you, somebody love that shit. Oh, my goodness. That nigga put you in a headlock. You know what I'm saying? Man, get the fuck out of here.
Hey, man, listen. They got that porn. Go to Pornhub right now. Or XXNX, right? And type in muscle hoes, muscle porn hoes. Them hoes come through with big ass muscles trying to do some porn. Hold on, bitch. Hey, hold on, strong ass bitch. Hey, bitch. Hey, bitch.